Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
Today, we're going to continue talking about bank accounts. And a lot of our dear listeners, of course, are young students. And you're going to high school and stuff like that. And you're probably going to be starting a part-time job pretty soon. And it might be a good idea to open a bank account so that you can deposit your money there for safekeeping.
Right. And there are different kinds, of course. We've got checking accounts, savings accounts, money market accounts. So they all have features that are a little bit different from each other. So we're going to read through this, and then we'll be back to kind of talk about it, break down what some of these words and phrases mean, and get you prepared for opening up maybe a new checking account or savings account, or even a money market account.
Checking account. Checking accounts provide basic banking functions. They are ideal for individuals who need quick access to their cash for daily spending. Checking accounts allow for an unlimited number of deposit and withdrawal transactions. The downside to these accounts is that they do not provide high interest returns. Savings account. As their name suggests, savings accounts are a good choice for people looking to save money and earn interest. As a result, people tend to make more deposits than withdrawals with this type of account. Savings accounts earn a higher interest rate than checking accounts. However, we charge a small fee if the account goes below our designated minimum balance. We believe the services we offer make up for that, such as our Pay Like a Local benefit. When you travel, you can use foreign ATMs with no extra currency conversion fee. Money market account. Money market accounts are a hybrid of checking and savings accounts, and they pay higher interest rates than either option. Owners of these accounts usually receive debit cards and passbooks when opening their accounts and can get checkbooks upon request. Our bank's money market accounts allow you to invest in mutual funds with the help and expertise of fund managers. One of the downsides of money market accounts, though, is that they come with more restrictions. The money market accounts that our bank offers only allow a limited number of withdrawals for each month.
Let's look at our table first, guys. We've got a couple of words in there that are part of our vocabulary list. Here's the first one, minimum. The minimum is the lowest quantity, the lowest amount that's allowable. It could also refer to the lowest speed that you're permitted to go on a highway if you're in a car or on a scooter. The lowest amount or value. So the minimum deposit to open an account, you have to have this much money, cash in hand, if you go to a bank and want to open a particular account. For checking, you need 1,000 NT dollars that you can deposit the day that you open the account. For savings, you need 1,000 as well, but the money market account, notice here, it is a lot more. It's 5,000 NT dollars that you need to deposit the first day you open the account.
Okay, now remember, we had a conversation between Becky, who works at the bank, and Craig and Allison. And remember, at the end of their conversation, Becky gave them a flyer. So basically, today's lesson is the contents of that flyer. And again, it offers a kind of chart here, which describes the different kinds of bank accounts that this particular bank has. This particular money-saving institution offers. They've got checking accounts, savings accounts, and money market accounts. And again, when you open an account, you have a minimum amount of money that you need to deposit into that account. And I guess for the checking and savings accounts, the minimum deposit is the same, but the minimum deposit for the money market account is much higher. It's 5,000 NT dollars.
Ooh, a lot higher, huh? Anyway, let's look at some of the things. Interest rates, of course, in the checking account are the lowest of all three. The savings account is the medium. And then the money market account is the highest offered interest rate. So which ones offer credit cards? Usually with a checking account, you can apply for a credit card. Is a credit card available with a savings account? It is here in Taiwan, but it's not in America. We don't have credit cards attached to savings accounts in America. That's a big difference. And for the money market accounts, they might offer them here in Taiwan, but they don't in America. I have a money market account. So online banking, Tom, that's probably available with all three these days, right?
Certainly, and I think it's considered standard. If you're putting money into a bank, you probably think that you deserve to be able to do your banking on the internet. So yes, online banking is available for checking accounts, savings accounts, and money market accounts. Then we've got ATM access. That's the automatic teller machine. And it's kind of interesting because sometimes people say, hey, where's your ATM machine? Well, that's redundant because ATM has the word machine in it. So you should just ask, where's the ATM? Where can I, get money out of a machine? Do you have an ATM here in the 7-Eleven, for example? And you can access an ATM if you have a checking account and a savings account. They'll give you a little card that you can use to withdraw money or deposit money in one of those machines. But it's not available for the money market account. Interesting.
Interesting indeed. Now, the last row is number of transactions per month. Now, transaction is a noun. It's countable, as you can see. Just means some sort of business activity. It could be a business negotiation, something that usually happens in business. The verb is to transact, but you'll often see this word transaction on your monthly bank notice or whatever the bank sends you. Mine will say transaction on this date, who the money went to and what it was for, if they know sometimes. So transactions. Now, these transactions include, for example, I just did this before I came to work today. I moved money from my savings account to my checking account. This is in America. I was doing it online. That was considered one transaction. And they're usually transaction fees for things we do. If you want to pay someone, maybe you need to pay your English tutor their monthly fee. You would go to your ATM and then transfer that money to your teacher's account. That would be one transaction. And you might be charged a small fee.
Right, so if you have a checking account, you can have unlimited transactions, but you only get 6 transactions with a savings account, and you only get 6 transactions with a money market account. So let's be more specific and talk about these different accounts. We'll start with the checking account. It says, checking accounts provide basic banking functions. Okay, so that would involve withdrawals and deposits and things like that. And they are ideal for individuals who need quick access to their cash for daily spending. So, like, for example, when I went to university, it was useful to have a checking account because when you're a student, you are using money all the time. You need to buy school supplies and books, and then you get together with your classmates and have meals and coffee, or you pay class fees and things like that. So indeed, a checking account is very useful if you're a student.
Oh, yeah. Definitely very, very useful. Some people didn't want to withdraw money all the time or every day, and so they would tend to take out a large amount, maybe once a week. I liked withdrawing more regularly because if I took out a large amount, I seemed to spend it faster. So yeah, you might need to get a checking account if you have a daily need for cash. Now, the downside to these accounts, these checking accounts, is that they do not provide high interest returns. So remember, if you have a high interest rate, that return is just the money that you make as part of the interest on the money that in your account. So the returns. You'll often see that word return used when they're talking about finances. Hey, what was your return this year on your stock? Okay, so you'll often see it used in a financial setting like this.
Exactly. So, yeah, do you get high returns from your investment? And, of course, most people would like to have high returns from their investments. That's
yes.
the whole idea. If you invest money, you want to make money. Otherwise, why do it? So there you go. You don't get a lot of interest returns from a checking account. Again, it's mostly used for spending and buying things and stuff like that. Now,
Tom,
then we're going to talk about...
I just wanted to add, for returns,
Sure.
guys, you can think of it, if that word kind of, gets you confused sometimes because we use it in other ways. Just think of it as the profit that you make from some of your investments, including your savings and interests that you make on not just savings, but money market accounts and checking. It's the profit that you make.
There you go. And again, you don't get a lot of high returns or high interest returns from a checking account. It might be better with a savings account, and that's the next type of account we're going to talk about now, the savings account. And as the name suggests, as it basically tells us, savings accounts are a good choice for people looking to save money and earn interest. So if you're not really spending a lot of money, if you're not a university student and you're working now and you spend pretty much all week at your job and you don't really spend that much money, maybe just on the weekend, then a savings account would be a better idea for you because, hey, you're working, you're trying to save money because you want to buy a car, you want to buy a house someday, and eventually you want to retire.
Oh, yeah, all of those are good goals, aren't they? So, like Tom said, savings accounts do earn a higher interest rate than the checking accounts. It says here, though, however, we charge a small fee if the account goes below our designated minimum balance. They'll tell you how much you have to keep in your account, and if you go under that amount, they will charge you a fee. So be very careful. Keep your eye on that minimum balance required. I think here in Taiwan, they actually don't let you withdraw all your money. They'll say maybe what's available. They'll say what your total amount in your account is, and then they'll say available or something like that. And they don't let you withdraw everything. I think that's to make sure that they can cover everything that comes in. So designated, if you're designated, it just means that particular thing or person has been chosen for something. So they've chosen to have a minimum balance in your account that you cannot go under.
Right, designated or determined, they have set this minimum balance, and if you go below that, then you have to pay a small fee. And then they say, we believe the services we offer make up for that, such as our pay like a local benefit. So some of you might think that going below a designated minimum balance is kind of bad. It's inconvenient. So here they say, well, our services will make up for that. Make up for is a verb phrase. It just means to compensate for something. Maybe you did somebody wrong or something because of a mistake you did at work. Your coworker got in trouble or something like that. So you decided to say, well, let me make it up to you. I will make up for my mistake. I will take you out to dinner or something like that. Or maybe I will, give you a set of encyclopedias or something like that.
Yeah, so they make up for it by offering a benefit that I really like. Their service of pay like a local is great. For foreigners like me, I love that about one of my credit cards. If I buy something, I can choose whether I want it to be charged in New Taiwan dollars or NTD or American dollars. I always choose New Taiwan dollars, of course. So when you travel, you can use foreign ATMs with no extra currency conversion fee. Those can be quite high if you've ever tried using maybe a debit card in a foreign country. Some of those conversion fees are, expensive. Currency refers to the medium or the method that's used for exchange of goods. So it just means money, but it can also mean today could be the cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin is an example. So a currency isn't just those paper dollars and those coins you hold in your hand. Today, currency can be digital currency, cryptocurrency. There are lots of different currencies. Now, conversion just means to change from one form to another. Conversion. Sometimes we'll talk about remodeling our apartments. You might have a conversion of a bedroom. Maybe you have an extra bedroom and you're converting it to a music room. I'm just coming up with some ideas here. So, yeah, you're converting it, changing it from one form to another. Conversion.
Right, and to convert, of course, is the verb. If you have an old computer file, for example, and you want to use it with new software, you might need to convert that file to the new version. And yes, indeed, if you travel to another country, well, say if you go to Europe or something, you need to convert your NT dollars into euros. Well, in this particular case, if you use those foreign ATMs, you can convert that money without an extra charge. Isn't that great? Now, here's the next type of account that they offer, a money market account. And money market accounts are a hybrid of checking and savings accounts, and they pay higher interest rates than either option. So a hybrid of something is just kind of a mix of something, two things put together. I like to ride bicycles, and there's one kind of bicycle called a hybrid bicycle, which is kind of a mix between a road bicycle or a racing bicycle and a mountain bicycle, okay? It's kind of halfway between the two. Again, it's a mix of those two things.
Cool. So what's special about this? It's a mix of checking and savings accounts. They pay higher interest rates. That's good. And owners of these accounts usually receive debit cards and passbooks when opening their accounts. That's more like a checking and a savings account. A passbook, you probably have seen those. Those are those little small books that you take to the bank that you put through the machine, and it keeps a record of the things that you have bought or the money that you've deposited into your account as well. Those are passbooks. You can get a checkbook upon request if you have a money market account. They don't assume that you're going to be using a checkbook a lot if you have a money market account, so they don't offer it free of charge. You have to ask for it. They don't want to waste their time and money, I guess.
I guess so. So, yes, that's a special privilege. And our bank's money market accounts allow you to invest in mutual funds with the help and expertise of fund managers. So, a mutual fund is another type of investment. It involves stocks. We don't really have much time to discuss that right now. But one of the downsides of money market accounts, though, one of the drawbacks, is that they come with more restrictions. So, that's a disadvantage there. It has more rules and more restrictions.
Oh, yeah. So if you don't want those, you're not going to want to open up a money market account. I would assume that most people listening are going to be needing a savings account or a checking account. And if you get into that time of life when you can invest more of your money, you might want to check into more financial options than just, say, a money market account. There are better options out there.
There certainly are better options out there. And we wrap this thing up here by saying the money market accounts that our bank offers only allow a limited number of withdrawals for each month. So considering all these characteristics of these accounts, you can make up your mind what kind of account that you would like. I personally don't spend a lot of money on a day-to-day basis, so I don't really need a checking account. And a savings account would be good. So maybe this money market account would be a wise investment. Again, if you're not so young and you're working most of the time, this way you can save money and have higher interest. And you could maybe save the money for a rainy day and retire early.
It sounds nice, doesn't it? Right now, guys, we're going to listen to our Chinese teacher, and then we'll be back to talk a little bit about these discussion questions.
听众朋友大家好，我是安娜。好，所以我们延续昨天呢 Becky 给我们这张传单我们要来看一下到底3种账户哪一种会比较适合要开户的人呢？好，其实在新课纲的素养当中会出现蛮多这种比较生活化的，甚至有表格性的一些资讯，要知道怎么样阅读哦。好，我们来看一下表格，一定都会有直的栏、横的列。那么在直的栏当中，我们看到最左边的当然是一些要比较的特色，那么右边3栏呢，就有我们昨天提到的3种银行账户 ：checking account, savings account, money market account。好，那么最左边的这一栏呢，我们看到总共有7列，从第2列到最后面第7列的地方，看到有不同的一些 features， 比如说minimum deposit to open an account， 如果你要开户，你最少要存多少钱？那个 deposit 可以是存款啦，或者是押金的意思，因为你要开户嘛，要先存个钱进去。那么对于3种不同的账户，它最低的存款金额是有不同规定。另外呢，还有针对 interest rates 利率。Credit cards 是不是有付信用卡啊？是不是含有 online banking？ 可不可以用网络银行啦？ ATM access 是不是附有 ATM 的交易呢？是不是可以是直接用金融卡去 ATM 做操作呢？甚至每个月的交易次数是不是有所限制？好，那么接着当然在表格之后就会有文字的说明啦，所以第一个先针对 checking account 支票存款账户。支票存款账户我们昨天说了，通常都是适合一些需要快速现金交易啊，或者是这个付账单啊这些人。那所以支票的这个账户呢，基本上在存款取款的交易是不限次数的，但是缺点就是因为你的钱常常进进出出，所以那个利息不会很高。好，我们看一下下面 checking account 这边，在第2句的地方有一个限定用法的关系子句哦。先行词是 individuals 个人个体，就是这些人。谁呢？ who 到句尾可以左右括号起来，那就是需要快速提钱然后用作 daily spending 的这些人。那么在后面我们来看一下第4句的地方，第4句我们可以从中间的 be 动词 is 前后都打上斜线，那么 is 的前面就会是主词 the downside to this accounts。 downside 就是所谓的缺点的意思，这种所谓的支票存款账户它会有一些缺点，缺点是什么呢？ is that 注意哦， be 动词不是及物动词，所以 be 动词后面如果要加整个句子的话，还需要一个连接词，就是 that 是无意义的连接词，但是你也不能省略，因为 be 动词本身它其实不是及物动词。好，所以它的缺点是什么呢？就是它的 interest returns 利息回馈就不是那么高了。好，接下来就是第2种咯 savings account。 那当然顾名思义，储蓄账户就是想要存钱嘛，你存钱就是要赚利息。当然对于这些特定想要存钱赚利息的人来说，这是一个很好的选择哦。所以如果你要开的是储蓄账户的话，当然关键就是你通常不太会提款，而且储蓄账户呢会有一个指定的最低余额。如果你要存钱，我们给你这么高的利息，但是你又把钱提光光，那就很奇怪啊。所以呢，基本上低于最低的余额就会支付一些少量的费用。好，那么接下来我们看最后一种呢，就是货币市场账户 Money Market Account。基本上呢，它就是我们刚刚提到支票存款账户还有储蓄账户的一种混合体哦。我们在这一段的第1句把一个关键字圈起来，叫做 hybrid。 hybrid 这个字我们比较熟的大概就是有一种汽车，它的车身上就会打了 hybrid 这个字，叫做油电混合车。没有错，混合我们常常会用 mixture 这些字，可是 hybrid 这个字呢，通常指的是两者混合之后会拥有2项的优点，所以会用这个单字，还蛮好用的。所以如果你拥有这个支票存款账户跟储蓄账户的优点的这个混合体，当然货币市场账户是比较好，而且基本上呢它的利率还比较高，而且重点是呢你还可以有签账金融卡，还有存折，甚至你还可以拿支票簿哦。 同样在这一段的地方，第二句我们来看一下专有词，所谓的签账金融卡 debit cards， 还有存折 passbook， 甚至是支票簿 checkbooks。经过要求，就是如果你要求，他就会给你一本支票簿 upon request。 好，甚至还更好的是呢，基本上你可以用这个账户来投资共同基金。同样这一段第三句在中间的地方 mutual fund 共同基金，而所谓金融上的投资会用这个动词 invest， 通常会说 invest in something。所以听众朋友到底要选择哪一种账户呢？可以好好的思考一下哦。以上是我们今天的内容，我是安娜，我们下次见。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, here we are with some discussion questions. We've talked about a lot of information here, so we're ready to have a discussion. And our first question is, what bank account features are most important to you?
For me, I think I want something that's really convenient. I love online banking, even with my savings account here in Taiwan. I do a lot of online banking, which is awesome because it's so hot in the summer especially. I don't like to go to the bank and check on things. So I can just use the app on my phone and see if some of the work I've done, if I've been paid by transfer payment, if it's come in, or see how much money I currently have in my account. I love online banking. So convenience is important to me.
Indeed, for me too, and I must say I'm not really used to banking online. I'm not quite sure I trust the passwords and all that stuff you have to use. So I guess I'm still kind of traditional. If I need something done, I like to go to the actual bank. And if I don't understand something, I can ask the clerk there and they can explain things to me. But yeah, I think ultimately it's probably best to do banking online. Now, here's our next question. Can you think of some other investments or ways that allow you to earn interest on your money?
Yeah, besides things like buying stocks and bonds and mutual funds, you might think about going in with some family members and buying something solid, something physical, that no matter what happens to the dollar or to the NT dollar, because the value might drop, you'll still own something real like an apartment or some land. But you'd probably have to invest with some family members because things are expensive, aren't they?
It is true. So, yeah, I'm not sure about the real estate market right now, but yeah, if I had enough money, I think I would invest in real estate, an apartment or a condominium or something like that. Maybe even precious metals like gold or platinum.
Oh, yeah. I bought some gold and silver. That's really smart to buy now.
Gold and silver. Sounds like a good idea. Okay, that brings us to the end of our discussion, and hopefully all of you can have discussions that are just as interesting as the ones that we have just had. And that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Thank you so much for joining us. And please join us again next time. And we wish you the best of luck with your savings. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.